No one gives a damn
factual.
about the words. What they care about in the country, in huge numbers, is the sentiment that Lee expressed and the feeling.
Parliament erupts as Nigel Farage backs Lee Anderson and clashes with David Lammy. You're not going to believe what just happened inside Parliament. Because this wasn't a routine debate, it wasn't a quiet disagreement, no, this was the kind of moment that sends shockwaves through the entire political world. While everyone was glued to the latest polls and cabinet rumors, something massive was unfolding right there on the floor. A confrontation, a surprise alliance, and a reaction that left the room buzzing long after the microphones went off. Nigel Farage stepped into the debate and openly backed Lee Anderson. And then, in a twist no one saw coming, he locked horns with David Lammy in a way that instantly turned the chamber electric. Let's break down exactly how this erupted. The moment began during an already tense debate on national policy priorities. Lammy had been outlining the Labour position, delivering one of his strong, confident performances, the kind where he leans into the rhetoric, sets the pace, and tries to seize control of the room. Then came Lee Anderson. Never one to hold back, Anderson challenged Lammy's framing point by point, questioning his assumptions, his tone, and even the direction he said Labour was taking the country. It was sharp, it was heated, but it was still normal parliamentary drama until Nigel Farage stood. That's when everything changed. Farage backed Anderson's interpretation of the issue, driving home the exact points that had frustrated Lammy. But he did it with that signature Farage delivery, measured, but unmistakably provocative. The room froze for a second. Then the murmurs started. Then the reactions. Suddenly, the debate wasn't Lammy versus Anderson. It was Lammy versus Anderson and Farage, a combination nobody expected in that moment. Farage began by saying he agreed fully with Anderson's reading of the situation, a line that surprised even conservative benches. But it was what came next that lit up the chamber. Farage accused Lammy of overlooking a major part of the public mood, implying that the shadow foreign secretary was out of touch with what was actually happening outside Westminster. Lammy, visibly irritated, fired back, immediately challenging Farage's interpretation, reminding him of previous statements, and insisting that the country wanted a different tone, a different direction. Farage didn't waver. Anderson didn't back down either. This was a three-way collision between personalities who almost never share the same stage in this way. You could feel the tension building with every exchange. One parliamentarian could be heard saying quietly, "This is getting out of hand." Another muttered, "Here we go." But it wasn't chaos, it was controlled fire. The kind of political electricity you rarely see. This clash didn't happen in isolation. Right now, the public mood is shifting, political alliances are unpredictable, and every party is trying to find the perfect message. Lammy represents Labour's push for stability and authority. Anderson represents populist frustration and blunt straight talk. Farage represents insurgent energy, the wild card who can change the tone of a debate instantly. So when all three collide, you get a moment the country can't ignore. Political analysts immediately jumped on it. One senior political commentator told a radio outlet, "This changes the dynamic." Farage siding publicly with Anderson sends a message not just to Parliament, but to voters. Another analyst said, "Lammy didn't expect that double-front challenge. It threw the rhythm off immediately." Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Every platform lit up with reactions. One viewer wrote, "Parliament hasn't been this intense in ages. Wow." Another said, "Farage backing Anderson? That's going to shake things up." A third person commented, "Lammy held his ground, but you could tell he didn't see that coming." Even supporters of all three sides were divided. Some praised Lammy for staying firm. Others praised Anderson for being direct. And many said Farage brought an energy the debate didn't have before. It became the political moment of the day, maybe even the week. Behind closed doors, MPs and advisers were buzzing. One insider from the opposition benches told a journalist, "This will be remembered. Not because of what was said, but because of who stood with whom." A conservative strategist added, "If Farage and Anderson appear on the same page more often, that is politically significant." And a Labour aide, speaking off the record, remarked, "Lammy wasn't expecting a tag team moment. It changes the whole mood. The moment wasn't about policy anymore, it became about momentum, alliances, and personality. Here's the truth. No matter which side you support, what happened in Parliament today was rare. It was dramatic, it was unexpected, and it revealed something important: political lines are shifting faster than anyone realizes. Because if Farage is willing to step into a debate and back Anderson, and if Lammy is willing to stand his ground against both, then the next round of political battles may look very different. So the real question now is, was this just a one-off spark or the beginning of a brand new political alignment? And if this is only the beginning, how much deeper does this go?